If you want to photograph for the big magazines, 9 things that I've learned in my recent Vanity Fair cover photo shoot that I did and spread inside also Vanity Fair Italia, which is the one that's like just that. My favorite emoji right now. Some are so good. Some I made some mistakes and I want to show you. Now, you don't have to photograph for Vanity Fair Italia or America or any other huge magazine. But I do want to say real fast that shooting for Vanity Fair has been a dream from the moment I picked up a camera. There were 2 magazines I wanted to photograph for, and one of them was Rolling Stone, which I did last year, and then the other one was Vanity Fair. That the current issue, or it depends when you see this, the May issue is mine with international superstar Tiziano Ferro. Anyways, let's go to some of the things that I did. The first one is a huge mistake that I made, and it was using lights that I'm not accustomed to. Now, the bulk of my career, when I say the bulk, I mean 98% of my career has been on Alien Bs, but since some thief stole those out of my car, I got some new lights. And then I didn't feel comfortable enough bringing those lights, but I should have just practiced with them. Instead, I said, I'm gonna go get Pro Photo lights and we're gonna rent that. Now, Pro Photo lights are beautiful, but they just require a little bit more. And I had a really great photo assistant helping me on set. He knows Pro Photo, but I realized I have to know Pro Photo like that. And I've used Pro Photo before. And I kind of liken it to, okay, you're going to go make somebody a meal. You're playing with their stove and their oven and their spatula and everything. And yes, it's a fire, and yes, it's heat, and yes, it's something you can pick the food up and flip it and all that. But it ain't your spatula. You don't know the temperament of that spatula or that fire, the knobs on that stove, etc. That was me on set with the Pro Photo lights. I'm like, man, come on. If I could do it again, I would just have gone and purchased or rented some Palsy Buff Alien B lights. Not because I think those are the best, but those were the best for me, and I should have done that. And there were several times that I stopped on set. I'm like, just trying to get it. And I knew what I was doing. I'm a self-taught photographer. It doesn't matter what lights you use because I just know those Palsy Buff lights. Yes, I had a lighting assistant, but I had to get my hands in there and manipulate the light myself. So that was a huge fail on my part. Don't jump on a photo shoot when you're supposed to flex every muscle you got with new equipment. The second thing that I have, and I did very well, is that I mood boarded the whole thing. So there were mood boards that I got from Vanity Fair, from the editor-in-chief. Then I got a mood board that I created, and that was something that I shared with Tiziano, and I shared with the magazine because it was off of their mood board. And then I shared that with my stylist, Andrew. And then I brought that on set. If you don't do a mood board for your shoots, whether it's a magazine or whatever type of photo shoot you have, it's an opportunity to be like, you know what? How can I fail? How can you know what? I'm not going to do a mood board. Please get yourself a mood board because as a creative, you have this shiny object syndrome where you do. And so when you see things, you're like, oh my God, how about that idea? Let's do that one. No, your idea was over here and now you're jumping this way. So the mood board keeps you contained. Number 3, I did this very well. I booked 10 hours in a studio where I really needed 6 or 7. And I was like, okay, with cleanup and everything, I need 8. And I did the 10 hours. It cost me more money. It ate up a lot of my budget. But the reason why I did that is because what I don't want to do is now go, oh my God, what time is it? How much more time do we have? Okay, let's go. Let's move faster. And you start getting shots that you're not proud of because now you're just trying to rush things through. I would much rather pay a little bit more. And I don't even look at that as paying as much as I look at that as investing in my shoot, which is my career. Number 4, I booked the lights from the studio that I rented. Now, if you can do this, it's going to save you a lot of time, a lot of money, and then your time is money also. So for example, if I was to go rent the lights from a different location and bring them into the studio, well, I'm not going to do that. I have too much going on. So now I have to hire a PA for one more day, and that for a half day actually, and then a second half day for them to return all the equipment. So that's one extra day. Then I have to, if it doesn't fit in their car, probably will not because there's a lot of other stuff in there, then now you have to rent a cargo van. Now I have to insure that van. Now I have to go get that early and then sign for it and put my name and all the liability. So when you get it from the same studio, it's not cheaper. By no means was his equipment that much cheaper, but he gave me a much better rate. Like he wiped out a lot of the costs because he's like, look, you already rented my studio for 10 hours. You're going to come in. You guys are already tagging this. You're very polite. I was very polite. And then I did all my rentals there. So I didn't have to get a PA for an extra day. I didn't have to go rent a cargo van. I didn't have to have somebody go and return it. Everything was there, the stuff that we rented, ready and waiting for us in the morning. And then we just put it there when we left. I saved so much money and time, and then time is money. And the money is mine. Number 5, what I did very, very right on the shoot is my stylist, Andrew Philip Nguyen, is excellent at what he does. And I've worked with him many times before. And he just went out there and he killed it. And he got the best stuff like Prada, All Saints, Dolce & Gabbana, so many other things. But I said, Andrew, please take pictures of what you have and send it to me throughout the week. The reason for this is that sometimes they're going to bring something a little bit extra, and then that little bit of extra is going to give you an idea for a backdrop, or it's going to give you an idea for lighting, and then you're going to change your shoot up a little bit for the better. I want to know what you have, because what if you bring like this beautiful gold jacket sequence, and I'm like, oh God, that's going to change my whole lighting, but that could be so beautiful. So I communicated with that. Now, he said he brought a jumpsuit, and it had like the paint splashes and everything, and I saw that and I thought, I think I'm going to make my own backdrop. It's because I got the image early and I decided I'm going to make my own backdrop, because renting it was like $400 for one day. I've got my iPad down here, so I'm just looking. Number 6, take control of your own narrative. So Vanity Fair said, Walid, can you please get us a videographer? And we want to film this. We want to film the whole making of this issue. It's very special for them. And it was a special tribute to Italy, which was kind of like even more of an honor. You know, Italy's biggest star. And it's a tribute to... Anyways, I think you get it. They said, would you please film it for us? And then you can send us the footage and we'll edit it. And I was like, no. I said, we will edit this in-house. And so I had a friend of mine, Zach, fly in. He works at another ad agency I'm a creative director for. And I was like, I want you to come in and I want you to film this. But me being the control person that I am, I also have my dear friend Gergo, and he loves fashion. He knows fashion. He knows Tiziano, and he went to Italy to go see Tiziano with me and stuff like that. He's done something for Tiziano before too. And I thought, I'm going to have a backup, because you weren't there filming it, so it has to be Zach first. So I edited the videos in-house. Now, I filmed this, we did the production on a Friday. Saturday, the gallery went to Italy, to the editor-in-chief. Sunday morning, I had the final selection for the magazine, and we started editing. And Monday midnight, all the retouching and all the edit videos were due. So I have Zach in Arizona soldiering through this. I'm trying to edit all these videos, which took a full 24 hours. And I have Gergo now in Europe, and he's traveling also, and he's just like hunkered down and he's editing. So that was a good thing too. So so far, the only negative one really is that I use the Pro Photo lights. They're great. They're really great. It's just not my forte. Number 7, collaboration. When I tell you I should win an award for the collaboration effort, in fact, I think this is the definition of collaboration. I brought a second production company into this because it could benefit them, and they have resources that I was able to use, including my videographer and editor, etc. But guess what? It doesn't take much away from me. I'm still the photographer and I produce this, okay, in conjunction with Vanity Fair. But 2 production companies, my production company and another production company, they did this, so we did this together. Now they get something on their reel. I got something on my reel. It's a total win. But then I brought in my friend Andrew, who's a stylist, and he's like, I would do anything for Vanity Fair tear sheet or cover. So that worked out. And then I also made sure that I found the person that Tiziano prefers for grooming and hair, and made sure that she cleared her whole schedule for this. If you can rise up together, everyone will win. So when you look at everything, you have to look at a chess game. Who can benefit from this? Who's going to be loyal to me? Who's going to work hard? And who has resources that they can lend to the project? And we all come up together. The next thing is leaving everything. You know how they say in sports, like leave everything on the court? Man, I left everything in that studio, and then I stayed up for 40 hours straight, which I do not recommend at all. But I did sleep 2 times, 30 minutes each. It was so painful to get up, but I had to get this thing ready, and I had to be up, and I had to work on the retouching, and I had to sit on Discord and look at the edits that Zach was doing, and I had to be awake for Gergo because he's in Europe. I had to stay awake for him, because he needs support. He can't be out there and go, everybody is in America. They're asleep right now. I don't know if I'm doing this right. So I stayed up with him and I stayed up with Zach. That's why I stayed up for 40 hours, basically. I left everything in that studio. And I remember at one point, I just texted Gergo and I was like, I did this with the cleanest energy. I worked my butt off. I tried to give Vanity Fair everything. I tried to give the designers everything. I tried to give the stylist and hair and makeup in the studio and Tiziano, of course. And I try to do everything and honor myself at the same time. Basically, everyone left everything like on that court in that studio. And then the ninth one. So one I did bad. That was the pro photo one. But the ninth one that I think I did so well is I created my own backdrop. I bought it for $39 from Home Depot. It was a big painter's backdrop. I bought black Rit dye, but then I did it a certain way. And then I crinkled things and I put in a small kitchen sink. And I just worked that because there's a shop called Schmidley and they're awesome. And I've rented from there before and I will rent from them again. But it is between $300 to $500 a day for you to just rent a beautiful backdrop. And I wanted something that was like, I'll show you my inspiration on the screen. And it's like just this old 90s style, grungy, crinkled up, dark backdrop. Mine is bluish gray and it matched that jumpsuit. And I was like, this is going to be the cover image. And I fought for it. But anyways, what I'm saying is sometimes you can make your own backdrops and it could be of cloth and it could be something like a painter's drop cloth. And when you do that, I get to use that again and again and again and again. And it becomes part of my repertoire. I have a backdrop that I straight up stole it. I'm not even going to pretend. From a Britney Spears music video when we were done. Actually, I didn't even steal it. No, we were cleaning up and art department was like, who wants it? And I was like, I took it because I was the director's assistant. And it's the backdrop from her music video, Someday I Will Understand, where she's pregnant. I plan on using that again for one of my shoots. I love the idea of different backdrops showing up in different places. And you're like, oh, that's the same couch from this music video, that magazine shoot. Anyways, I hope that these helped you. If you want to shoot for magazines, there are certain things you have to do. There's a way you have to move. And when you move that way, you will win. I've never walked by a Vanity Fair magazine and have not thought, God, maybe one day. And my cousin, Homaira, pointed something out and she said, you're the first Afghan ever to shoot for major magazine covers like Vanity Fair and Rolling Stone. She's like, no other Afghan photographer in the world has ever done that. And I don't know if that's like this massive accomplishment, but it's just that kind of hit. And I'm like, I'm the first Afghan. And if you have questions or comments, I read every single comment on every single video and I respond to every single one. It's something I very much take pride in. So please put that down there. Subscribe button, next video, thumbs up, helps this video. I'll talk to you later. Bye.